us a different country, a special country to be in. Because our ancestors have followed this dharma and they have taught us how to face challenges and in all the adversities and temptations also never deviate from this path of righteousness, from this path of good character. I'm very glad to hear the students speak before us just a while ago with such clarity and conviction about what they are learning here and how this is going to be useful to them and to the country at large. When I see our students march past, it's an emotional moment for me. And people may wonder, after all, it is just a march past. What's there to become emotional? But I just don't see it as a rhythmic activity done by the students together. But I see in all of you a future that is safe and secure for this country and the world when you join hands, when you march step in step with such discipline, with such determination. It gives me hope that with all of you, with your sincerity, with your dedication, with your character, definitely our future as a country and the world will be much better than what it is today. "75 years have passed since we got our independence. Now we are our republic and we are marching towards 100 years of independence. There is a dream by the Honorable Prime Minister that we should finally enter that phase of a developed nation where everybody has everything that they need. All are treated with equality and fairness. And these constitutional values manifest in day-to-day lives of the last and the least also in this country. It's a lofty dream, worth fighting for, worth working for, worth even dying for. But who is going to make this dream come true? Not the policies that are written, not the speeches that are given, not the ideas that are envisioned, but the action that each of you must undertake in your own lifetime. And all that which has been dreamt by our forefathers, our freedom fighters, our leaders and visionaries will fail if we do not rise to the occasion and take it upon ourselves to make it come true. So I call upon all of you, the students here and students all around the country and everywhere, that you have to rise to the occasion. It is up to you to build a stronger nation which would not only do good to itself, to its people, but to the whole world. Vivekananda has been mentioned several times. He was a visionary, he had a dream to build a strong country. He was a patriot even before he was a spiritualist. And he calls out to the youth of the country, Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran Nibodhata. Arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. While all institutions talk about building intellectual capacity, skills, and all other kinds of resources to develop this country, I must share a very personal moment that I had recently when I went to Salem. There was a small Ramakrishna Mutt, Sri Ramakrishna Mutt in Salem, which was founded in the year 1919, more than 100 years before, by Sister Nivedita and the then people who were in charge of the mission. When I went there, there was this altar of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa flanked by Swami Vivekananda and Sharada Ma on the either sides. And I stood there for a moment to pray and ask a question. And the question was, how will this nation become better? What is the way that this nation can get rid of all that which is wrong, all that which is not correct, not good? How can this nation be led into such a brighter future? I do not know how, but this question occurred to me. And in my mind, when I prayed and asked, the reply that came to me was, this nation can be made greater only by Atmagyanis. Answer was not by political leadership. Answer was not by military might. Answer was not by economic progress or social justice. Answer was by Brahmagyanis or Atmagyanis, those who know the self. They alone can lead this nation into a brighter future. So our education just does not stop with building physical, intellectual, or emotional capacities. It must end with building the spiritual capacity when you know who you are, and because of that, you are capable of transforming others around you. Sri Narayan Bhatt, a great patriot, envisioned the future of the country as that which would be led by Tyagajivis, people of sacrifice, those who would give everything and more of themselves for the sake of betterment of all. And his idea was so in tune with the idea of Mahatma Gandhi ji, who talked about Grama Swarajya, the upliftment of the last and the least in the villages, the Antyodaya. This idea could not manifest in the lifetime of either Mahatma Gandhi ji or Sri Madhyal Narayan Bhatt, but definitely it is possible now and here with you and all of us together in building a better nation by building a better ourselves. Those who have manifested this great idea of Atmano Mokshatam Jagat Hitayacha, it is to them that this opportunity will be given to lead this country and the world into a brighter, better future for one and all. Ramarajya is not a utopian concept. It existed at some point in time right here in this very land, led by a great king, followed by great people. And it can happen again, not by just one king or a few people, but with all of us taking charge of ourselves and this country's destiny by giving up our everything and more for the betterment of all. Knowing who we are and then acting accordingly is the only solution to all the problems that plague the country and the world today. So these events as Republic Days and national festivals are the moments where we can remind ourselves and recommit ourselves to this idea of building a better country for each other. And if India lives, who dies? And if India dies, who lives? Said Max Muller again. This is the idea that India must live, not just live, it must grow, it must thrive, not merely in its, as I mentioned, physical, intellectual, emotional, or military or economic capacities, but because of its spirituality, which should manifest in every sphere of life that we are engaged in. So, with these words, and hoping and praying that all of you, without any exception, would take it upon yourselves to build a strong character within you, the capacity to do the right thing always. The right thing to do is always the greater good of all. And you would live your lives in accordance with these principles and values that have been envisioned not merely by the makers of the Constitution, but by the ancestors of this great ancient land, by our rishis, by our sages, saints, and avatars. And you would lead this country into a greater, a brighter, a better future for one and all. And the prayers of Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkham Apnuyat would be the way of a developed India that you and I would live in. May we all work together. Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karvavahi. Let us work together, let us strive hard. Let us exert ourselves to build a better country, to make these constitutional values become a reality in everyone's life, until the last and the least has enjoyed these values of equality, liberty, fraternity, and justice. Our work shall not stop. I am very thankful to G.R. Vishwanath ji for being here. He has made the country proud on several occasions. And in the upcoming cricket match, the One World, One Family Cup, we are also going to honor and celebrate his contributions to the nation through his field of cricket. We can contribute to this country in every way. Country is so rich, so diverse, and everybody who does anything for the greater good of all, for the glory of this country, is a true Bharatiya. We have so many examples like this, and I hope that in times to come, new examples will come out of all of you who would inspire and lead the next generations on this noble path. Once again, conveying my heartfelt wishes on this Republic Day to all the citizens of the country and all those who may not be citizens but they are more Bharatiyas in their soul than many of us. To all of them, my hearty wishes. To all the staff and students, my blessings.